What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for Re-Zero. I opted to just continue recording this because it started back up this week, I believe. So that means I have a good, 6-ish episodes that I can continue on with. So I'll get as many of those out today as I can, and hopefully have them backed up. And then I can record Bleach tomorrow when the new episode pops up, and I got 3 of those, and yeah, consistency and planning, and I gotta do better with that stuff. But that said, of course, the last episode, Julius tried to go up against Reid again and, well, failed. But he'll probably, get some mental training and some thought processes in and go back up one more time for a do or die. He beats Reid and they all go through, or none of them go through. Will that be how that goes down? We shall see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, of course. Or hold it for the end of the episode. Definitely gotta do so on the black platform, because, you know. But, that said aside, also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and let the whole video run through the limit get the watch time, because it's highly appreciated. And if you hear my air conditioner, I do apologize. It is, of course, still pretty damn hot. That said, let's get started, shall we? But you're the one who was healing from injury last time, and you still left to get your ass beat again. Patrush looks fully healed, though. She seems pretty chill. Just kind of standing by them, like, yeah, listen to mom and dad. Good dragon. Ram's talking shit about what Julius did was, pretty ballsy considering he's screwed everyone. But also, here's the thing that she has to consider. Did Reid seem like a man who was going to kill Julius the first time he beat the shit out of him? Did it seem like he was going to do it after the second time? Here's the thing. I think Reid is actually more so, he's already a spirit, so he's not trying to actively harm anybody to the point of, not being alive anymore. Regardless of how much of an asshole he is, I do genuinely think he wants real competition and actually feels pretty bad that Julius just sucks comparatively. So, yeah, he might have beaten the holy hell out of him a couple times already, but I don't think he would have killed the man. Damn, Ram even talking shit about Shala and calling Shala a simp, basically. Okay, but why they gotta draw her like that, though? I'm just, she's hot enough as it is, but she wearing her cloak, and, they drew her like a Disney character. I'm sorry, an old Disney's character before Disney kinda... Yeah. Or am I thinking more like a Pixar character? Because, back in the day, those two were one and the same, but not so much these days. Okay, and thank you, Shala. That's great, but here's a little bit of the problem. We're kind of in a time crunch, because sure, we could take a week, maybe 2 to figure this out. If we don't get back to where we came from sooner rather than later, the biggest threats to this continent, at minimum, could return, and everyone might be dead. Which, honestly, I could kind of see happening at this rate, is they go back and everybody except for their friends are dead. Yike. Hey, yo, I mean, I can take one for the team on that end. So I'm also just now realizing I slightly misspelled her name during the last few videos of this. Oopsie. Will I go back and remember to edit them to be the correct spelling? Probably not, because it's funnier if I leave it because of engagement bait. Hold on, was there a slight twitch of realization in Betty's face right there? No, okay, I thought her, face actually grew into one of those anxious kind of, wide smile kind of things before returning to her normal small mouth look. Look. It's 11 in the morning, I'm still kind of tired. So, Subaru is not really helping his case against the kind of shit talk Ram gives, at minimum. That bitch just eating with her bare hands over there. Has Shala been in the tower for so long she doesn't even know how to use silverware? You know what, scratch that. The answer to that's probably yes. She has the right idea, though. She wants to learn how to cook to win her master's heart. To get Yeah, I was trying to think of whatever the most, whiny cry YouTube way to put this would be, but no, I'm just gonna say it. Be railed into oblivion. And, like, probably not from Subaru, but, Man, this man's sitting here watching out Anna, and it's like, oh, what should I say to her when she wakes up? It's like, one, I'm pretty sure you want to apologize for being so weak, but for two, I don't think she'd give a fuck as long as, you're still alive. The man fell asleep while watching Rem. What a lazy bitch. Well, apparently Anna woke up and sauntered off herself. Uh-oh. Did some bad things happen while he was asleep? As everything bad always happen when this man is asleep. I don't like dark, empty corridors in this show. Dark, empty corridors in this show usually end up to be something bad. Like someone dead or being eaten alive. Now, at least Patrash was back with Rem and him, so that part's not going to happen again. Probably. But what kind of dangers await him this time? Did Reid somehow come back from his little area and decide to pick another fight with Julius? I don't think that man would have had the energy to leave his area. Did a mob beast get in? Did a sin get in? Is he about to discover a third entrance? Okay, he did discover a third entrance and discover where Anna went, so two birds, one stone, ironically enough. So we're just gonna ignore the fact you just crawled through a hole in the wall. That we're just gonna ignore that so you can talk shop with Anna. No, okay. Not even gonna question how she got out here, how that hole in the wall was formed. Nothing like okay. No, it kind of was a secret passage, and just the birds so happened to get through. So him being suspicious is pretty accurate. Because, you said you weren't planning anything evil with Anna's body, but how is he supposed to still believe that? So he's going to try and uncover some more of this internal Fox Echidna's way of things. Maybe question if there's more going on than she's letting on. Because for some reason, she did feel quite particular in trying to protect Julius. Now, was that just because that's what Anna would have wanted? Or because that's what she wanted? Maybe she has more plans for the man than she's letting on? Because sure, he's Anna's knight. But she did seem to be trying a little bit harder than one might have expected. She did cause herself an aneurysm, basically. She's asking him the real question, though. However, there's a problem if my theories are correct. Even he doesn't know. So apparently even Anna herself was investigating Subaru, which, who can blame her? He is kind of a mystery and very intriguing because, well, she mentioned defeating not only the white whale, but also Sloth, and he not only beat Sloth, he also absorbed Sloth's power. So, which also, to remind, the guy, Beetlejuice, he was just a completely innocent man, basically going out with Amelia's aunt or whatever. They were on their path to, before he got possessed by the spirit of Sloth, or whatever the hell it is. So, again, what if the one that was in control of Sloth in the beginning was a future version of Subaru? Because this whole thing is about, time manipulation and, fucking going back or forward into time or a fantasy world or, whatever things might be. And again, there was no Truck-kun, there was no he died first and then got a Sakide. He just kind of left the supermarket and boom, was in another world. So, who's to say he didn't just get brought there because of a matter of convenience from his future self? Maybe he did go there another way at some other point in time, but to press the matter, his future self just assured that he would end there so things could go as planned. Despite all the, trauma. Is she afraid of him? Honestly, I could kind of understand because She doesn't know exactly what he's capable of other than, like, balls of steel, basically. And we did see in the other episode that when he loses his mind, he can nearly kill, if not actually kill, a demon slash, witch in training, basically. Because, I mean, he did try to take Rem out completely before all that went awry. And that was a whole other issue that's good they got out of, but her being afraid of him, a little valid, honestly. See, it's that kind of thing that she has the right to question. Because so far he's used his real world logic to figure a lot of stuff out, and that was no different. Also, what would happen if he actually tried to use that logic to figure out what the identity of the rest of the sins were, even in codename? Because I'm pretty sure he probably could. Because, I mean, Beetlejuice and Regulus were at least two names for the sin so far, and we've, been aware that the constellations have a lot to do with things, not only just between those two, but also the puzzle he just solved. So, I mean, couldn't he theoretically figure out the names for other sin members by the constellations if he put his mind to it? Yeah, and that's understandable and respectable. But also, here's the thing. If a queen who's meant to die soon takes over a kingdom, who's that gonna drop to if she's not, like, married or with child? That'll just cause a whole new selection process to have to begin, unfortunately. Because I'm pretty sure that's how that works in this land, like any other, fantasy kingdom that exists. Is like, when a sole person is in charge of the entire kingdom, they either need, like, a spouse or a next of kin for it to drop to. Otherwise, this whole thing begins again. And it's cool she has a reason she can't give up on it. However, I feel in case somebody else wins, maybe she should drop that reason to somebody she's already close with. Now, the good news is a majority of these, royal candidates are at least friendly with each other in some way, shape, or form. Like, I feel Krush is probably kind of completely out of it because of that whole dragon poisoning thing, and I think her memories were also lost to gluttony. Uh, Priscilla's probably still in good standing. Felt really doesn't give a shit. So, like, pretty sure Priscilla is in close enough with everybody that she could even be respectful enough to take up whatever Anna might need to do. Like, I get it probably affects her personally, but it's better she lives and can be helped than dies and not get it accomplished. Am I crazy? Apparently, whatever conversation they were having upset the birds. Now, what were they trying to lead into and allude to? Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. Maybe the birds are getting scared about something unrelated to Anna and Subaru's conversation. Ah, Julius arriving. You lying bitch. Well, if he was standing there the whole time and knows that's not actually Anna. Yep, he caught on. He is aware. He knows. Meanwhile, he pointed a fucking sword at her, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, that is not Anna. No, you don't have to point this at her, I think. She's been chill so far. Okay, and this I'm gonna rant just for a Crunchyroll thing for a minute. Why the fuck do the subtitles keep changing definition? Like, the entire show isn't changing definition like it did a couple of episodes ago. No, just the subtitles keep, like, changing their definition. And, like, I don't mind things changing color to be more legible, but changing definition kind of throws me off a little bit. Especially after I had to, like, stare on and off at a 3D kind of image for a while. Because I was at a place where a company's logo looks very 3D-esque, and that threw me off. So the fact that keeps changing in and out from definition, at least to my knowledge, throwing me off a little bit. To be fair, he is very, astute and an observationalist. And now this man is starting to self-doubt himself even more. Like, bro. You kind of had your mind on other things. Okay, he kind of has a point on that. Like Subaru said to let the first night thing go, and honestly, that's the most he has of his identity left, so just let him have it. Sure, he's being a little douchey right now, but you can set the sword down. That's still the Anna you know and love and respect and everything. Sure, Subaru caught on sooner than you, but that doesn't mean either of them are a threat. Probably. You know, it's a still man you try that again. It's still the same man you've come to respect in a weird way, and the same kinda woman that you've, learned to serve under. So just let it be. Let it go. Because she wanted to protect you. Because she knew that's what Anna would have wanted. Dummy. She's basically going to explain the same thing I just said. She did it because she knew that's what Anna would have wanted. Plus, again, the strategic point of view that if they lost Julius, that loses a third of the reason they came here. See? What I said. Well, at least the reason she's giving, but you know what I said the other time was correct too. He's a knight. Does he need much else? Like, granted, he's not the quickest on the uptake sometimes, but he understands what people are trying to convey and, the intentions behind the words they speak. And if he doesn't trust somebody, he will behead them. And it seems as if even Echidna within just kind of listened to Julius be like, yeah, we need to tell everyone everything tomorrow. And it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess it's about that time, isn't it? Which honestly could only help things, really, because that means they know how to treat, you know, the Anod, or wherever the fuck, Foxidna, sure. And they might also know how to, like, wake up her spirit within. Meanwhile, he's like, yeah, if our positions were reversed, I'd probably do the same thing. Don't sweat it. Which, the irony is, there is probably an Echidna living within, Amelia as well. But here's the more complicated part of that. Amelia doesn't just have one witch that might be living in her mind or soul, she has two. And those are fighting for, control. Yeah, that's where my brain mixed those words up. Again, a little around 11 in the morning. But if both Echidna and Satella are living in her, brain, soul, heart, whatever it might be, both of those things are probably trying to, like, lean more power into her than another. So, and that'll also probably be an interesting thing to see, because, like, take my thoughts on Subaru are correct of, like, him not being maybe an endgame boss, but the endgame, he grows into his power, he grows into his brain, and, like, decades pass in his current time. Maybe something similar for Amelia. Maybe she is the endgame boss and not his bride. Maybe both. Maybe he has to beat her to wed her. We shall see how that all goes in the future. And again, honestly, one of those things that might tempt me to read the manga if it has continued on much past where we currently are. Well, not currently are now, but the end of season 4 in, like, the next month or so. Yeah, Julius, you're just being a little pissant. You're fine. Like, you're getting your ass kicked by a man who has already beaten you once in, well, his lifetime, and is, again, a legendary swordsman of chopsticks. I mean, he probably did used to use that legendary sword that Julius fought him with the last time, but obviously he doesn't feel the need to use it for this thing. Imagine if he actually wielded a sword during, this exam. That'd make things a lot more difficult for everybody. Why was Rem trying to go up the stairs? Did she think she could fight that man? Listen, you might be strong, but you're not a fighter. I said the other episode that you could fight. I didn't say that you were a fighter. Because let's be honest, everybody who is currently there, if Rem's demonic mind wanted to take over while she was unconscious, she'd be a better fighter than her sister. Because, if power scaling in anime is never a good thing, but if we want to talk about power scaling for everybody who is currently in that party, I think she might be barely above Subaru. And that's on a, bad day for him. Okay, you might want to say that, but you're basically in a Japan similar area, and like far as respect goes, don't most people call each other like family like names anyway? And since some of the first people he stayed with consistently was you, Rem, and Amelia, and that weird creepy clown guy, because I'm sorry, like that dude's up to something. Like, we already know he's up to something based on that whole snow rabbit incident and the way he's grooming Ram. But I could see him being the third or second endgame boss to the whole series, not gonna lie. He says he's gonna try and think of a way to deal with Reid. Honestly, what would happen if he just went up there and tried to have a conversation with Reid? Pull the sword out, pull the sword out, and then before they start fighting, just be like, whoa, 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 whoa. I just want to talk. Like, I will leave and you can go back to doing whatever you do in the afterlife. I just want to have a conversation. Meanwhile, he's running up there. So is he going to do exactly what I thought, or something a bit different? Or is he going up to the library and is going to read the book similar to what Julius did before, but not get thrown back from it? Or did he do exactly what I thought and he went up there trying to talk to Reid and got his ass kicked? Damn. Betty tried to make Amelia feel bad for not making him feel bad for whatever he did, and now she's just calling Betty out. That is rude. Okay. Nah, he's just kind of recalling his current situation, or maybe that's something he read into. Sir, you know you've been summoned into another world. Did you lose your memory too? Oh, wait, did he lose his So what time is it? Do I have time to watch another one? Because now I'm confused. I technically do. Okay. So what happened at the end there? Because he basically just reverted back to whatever happened in the very beginning, mindset wise. So what did he just do? Like, he went up a set of stairs, and I assumed that set of stairs brought him to the library again. However, it seems like he got reset back to episode 1 mindset. So, what happened? Like, I'm actually concerned for this man a little bit. Because, I mean, that was similar to the reaction he had when he first got to, whatever the continent he's in is called, because it's been so long since it's been referred to, I forgot. Because, like, he went upstairs, and it wasn't the same set of stairs to go confront Reid, because I don't think Reid could have knocked his memories out of him. So, what book did he go after to read going up to the library? Because I would imagine he would have went after Reid's book to look into that man's previous life. Maybe get some hints about how to beat him other than having boobs. But now it seems he's lost his memory. Because obviously, from the title of the episode, you can see, like, right down there, past the episode itself. I was assuming somebody else would have lost their memories because, like, gluttony invaded or something. Maybe he was investigating Gluttony's book and trying to find out more about their original identity, and that just went south. Suppose we'll find out in the next episode, and whether or not I want to take the time into that or not, I don't know based on the time on the clock as it is. Because on the one end, I should totally just focus on editing this down and getting it uploaded. Maybe that's just what I'll do and record more after doing all that, because I got the time today. So why the fuck not? But I'll determine on that in a moment after I end this off. As for now, I suppose the question is, what do you guys think happened? If you haven't, read the manga or watched the episodes up to this point yourself, let me know your thoughts on, what might have happened in the comment section down below to him. Did he read Reid's book? Did he read Gluttony's book? Did he encounter Gluttony at random throughout the night and now he has to RBD to return back to himself? Many questions to ask, very few I'm sure how to answer, and only can give my opinionated thought processes on things as normal, of course. But you can let me know your thoughts on all that stuff and whatever other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. And, of course, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the other channels, ring bells like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Patreon, and Twitch. And be like CJ Bear and follow my Twitch even if I'm not live, because that stuff is always appreciated. Why am I calling them out specifically? Because I haven't been live in a couple of weeks, and I got a random follower when not live. And that kind of thing is always what I'm striving for, because that way when I do go live, for whatever it might be, y'all will know. And also, I might just start going live one of these days for just, talking anime while I'm playing some random RPG or something. That'd be a fun idea. Don't forget to subscribe to Patreon and Twitch, because on Twitch you'll get some kind of benefit, and Patreon, of course, you get the full unedited visual and audio of the stuff I upload here, because as someone commented on, a TikTok video, yeah, my videos on the red and black sides are patched together, because they kind of have to be, because whiny cry, where, you had your video have copyright in it, that YouTube did to me last year, and I'm not having that happen again. I barely even use clips from movies or TV shows for my editing reasons on the Pokemon channel, because I don't want them to whine and cry at me. Because until they get over their friggin' use of AI, I don't want any risks. Not one. Using a 10 to 30-second clip from some sort of, scene in a movie or TV show, that's one thing. Letting the entirety of the thing get uploaded, even at 40% opacity, so it's barely visible, and 90% of the screen gets switched around. Yeah, not. It's one thing if I let clips roll while I'm talking like this, and reverse them and let them run at their normal speed. That's one thing. That apparently is okay. But the other thing, nope. They don't know how copyright rules work with that. But that's the only rant I'm going to go on with this, just because of a comment I saw on TikTok the other day. That all said, it's been the Blazer King with King's Critiques. So, ta-ta for now. Peace.